Yes, good evening, all of you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, you told that you will take like extra class for clarifying our doubts on hydrocarbons and organic
Yeah.
chemistry.
Yes. So today I will take. Today you have any class after chemistry?
Yes, sir, we do.
Today you have any extra class?
Yes, sir, we do have extra class.
Okay.
We have math.
Then tomorrow.
Sir, tomorrow we have chem like the second half. So,
So and that is going to take up to 8:30. Then Tuesday, sorry, Wednesday.
so other all days we have
Yeah,
chemistry in
Wednesday
like
we
the
don't
first half.
class.
Tomorrow we have no. First is
Sir,
chemistry, no tomorrow
are
class.
you able to hear
No,
me?
sir.
Hello?
On
Yes,
the
yes,
second half
Bhargav.
is chemistry. Second half is chemistry, sir.
Tomorrow, okay. Okay, then Wednesday. What about 4 to 4:30? Wednesday, 4 to 4:30.
Okay, sir.
So we have physics test on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, we have physics test, sir.
Then when you will be free? Hmm? Then Saturday we have no first class.
Hello, sir. Hello?
Yes, sir. You can
Yes,
keep it at
yes.
5 or something Saturday.
What are you discussing now, sir?
So
I joined just now.
okay, no, nothing. We are talking about hydrocarbon chapter, extra class. Okay. So anyhow, Saturday I will take.
Saturday when?
So Saturday we have first class from 5 to 7:30. No.
Yes,
Sorry,
sir.
5:30 to 7 we have. So I will start from 4:30.
Sir, I might have bio class.
Then when it is possible? Sunday?
Sir, do they have doubts now?
Now not possible to. Where servers is very lagging. So right, states of matter. Right, here onwards physical chemistry chapter starts.
So does this have more of problems or theory?
This is equal theory and problems. In competitive exams also mostly giving problems, but theory also there. You need to read theory, 50% theory, 50% problematic.
Sir, you are announced a test on Friday this week.
Okay. In previous chapter, atomic structure, and in periodic table, we studied only about the properties of element, especially how is the element, how is the atom, how atom is constructed, and what are the individual properties of atoms we studied, right? Those are we are calling atomic properties, means atomic radius, electronegativity, those. And even in chemical bonding also, we studied only about molecule. So how a molecule is formed, how are the interaction between the atoms, overall molecule structure is what, and what is its dipole moment. That is individual of a molecules we studied. And now in states of matter, we are studying about the particular substance. Suppose something substance is made up of what? Any substance if you take, that is made up of molecules, no, right? Mostly molecules.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Molecules.
Then if you go for some metals, there is atoms, and in ionic substances, ionic species are there. Okay, anyhow, mostly there are substances are made by molecules only. If you take water, made by water molecules. But in this chapter, we are studying only about bulk properties. Bulk properties of a substance. Previously, we studied about only atomic properties and individual molecular properties. Here we are studying about bulk properties. Just small an example. Is it possible to read boiling point of water molecule? Just single water molecule. Is it possible?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Boiling point of single water molecule. It's not possible. It's not exist. It's a single water molecule means it exists as a vapor state only. So how we can read its boiling point? When we take in large quantity, then it's possible to read its macro properties, mainly density, whatever density, and melting point, boiling point, compressibility. So many physical properties we can study if we take in large quantity. That's properties we are calling macro properties. So to study macro property, we need to take any substance in large quantity. Okay. Anyhow, in this chapter, states of matter, we are discussing about the 3 states of matter. So that is solid state. Don't write, ma. Liquid state, gaseous state. Especially in this chapter, we are studying about gaseous state only in depth. About solid state and liquid state will comes in 12th standard. So can you tell differences between solid, liquid, and gases?
Sir, for a solid
First
shape,
point.
volume is fixed, whereas for liquid, only volume is fixed and gaseous, neither of those.
Correct. So you know, solids having the mass and volume fixed shape also there. About liquids, it having some mass, volume, but is it having any shape? Liquids, is it having any shape?
No.
No. Now come to gases. Is it having any mass? It have. Is it having any particular shape?
Mhm.
Gases also. No. So that's okay. Then come to force. Force between the molecules of a substance. If you take any solid substance, the attractive forces between the molecules or atoms of a solid is very strong. And in gaseous,
Weak.
very weak, where negligible interactions are present in between the gaseous molecules. In liquids,
Nothing, sir.
so in liquid molecules,
Medium.
between, yeah, there is some interactions, but compared to solids, weak, compared to gases, strong interactions are present. Now come to about density. Which one having higher density? Density.
Solids.
Solids have higher density. Liquids, compared to solids, less. Gases, it have very less
Least.
density. Yeah. And next property, energy. Okay, I think this
Sir, I
energy
have a
part I will
doubt.
explain. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, actually, in the previous chapter, you thought about voids, right?
Voids.
Sir, voids like gap between atoms and molecules.
Yeah, yeah.
So, due to more the number of voids, lesser the density, no, sir?
Yes, obviously. If more the number of voids, less the density. But that is depends upon void volume also, how much big the void is. Tetrahedral void or octahedral void or triangular voids, it depends upon void also, how much void gap. If it is a bigger, less density. If the void is very small, then it is high density only maintains.
Yes, sir.
Next, compression, compressibility. Which one we can compress easily?
Gases.
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 Gases we can compress easily. Liquids, okay, somewhat. Solids, compressibility is negligible, very less, not negligible. We can compress solids also, but less. And then pressure. Gases only exerts pressure. So gases only can create some pressure. Liquids or even solids,
Sir,
still
negligible.
negligible. Yeah. And only 2 points I will explain about energy and
Why not liquids, sir?
liquids. So
Liquids can, sir.
no, liquids
In a
cannot.
dam, like if
It is
they're
we are
raised in height, they're pushing it, sir. They're applying
is
some
we are
force. No?
talking about under what is potential energy. I'm talking about
Oh.
exertion of pressure.
Sir, you'll
Yes,
be
sir.
giving notes, no?
Yeah. No. You have to read this one from study material. Only problematic statements, problems only, I will give you notes. From the concept, I will tell you what you need to prepare. From the study material only, you have to read this and all.
Sir, rest all we need to study, right?
Hmm?
We should read from the study material, right?
Yeah, study material only.
So, sir, shall we like mark it in that directly instead of writing?
Yeah, that's what. No need to write. I'm telling you about read from study material only, this and all. Only problems are there, some problems and important statements. I said, no, this is a 50% of problematic. So that formulas, derivation, and some important points only you have to write notes, and 50% you have to read from study material only, concept. Next, about thermal expansion. Thermal expansion, which one we can expand easily? Gases. If you give little temperature also, expansion of gases becomes very big. Liquids, little bit expansion, very less. Solids, very less expansion. Solids also expands. If we give more temperature, solids also expand, but very less expansion. But gases have
Sir,
very high expansion.
could you tell definition of van der Waals
Yes, I
force
will.
once again?
Yeah, we'll tell. That is comes under intermolecular forces. Okay, I think these are the major differences between the solids, liquids, and gases. This, I think you are studying from school level onwards. This is. Now see about intermolecular interactions. So in chemical bonding, we studied in between atoms, there exists some force. That force only we are calling chemical bond. So here chemical bond and intermolecular interactions both are different. Suppose interaction between the atoms, it gives a chemical bond, that may be ionic bond or covalent bond or coordinate covalent bond. That is different. That is in between the atoms, that is responsible to exist a molecule. But here we are studying about intermolecular interaction. This is interaction between the molecules. Suppose in water molecule, there is a covalent bond between oxygen and hydrogens. So overall it is giving a one water molecule. So here also another water molecules. This is the water molecule. So now in between water molecule also some interactions are present. So about these interactions we are studying under this intermolecular interaction, not these interactions within the molecule. Chemical bond is present. We don't study about that chemical bond. We are studying about just a physical interactions between the molecules. So now between the molecule, some attractive force as well as repulsive forces also present. These forces only we are calling van der Waals forces. So in between the molecules, there exist attractive forces as well as repulsive forces. These forces together we are calling as a van der Waals forces or van der Waals interactions. These different type of van der Waals interactions are there. So we will discuss one by one. First one is London forces or dispersion forces. Dispersion forces are very weak forces. Out of all the forces, dispersion forces or London forces are very weak interactions. These interactions are possible in between the non-polar molecules. Non-polar molecules or atoms. Okay, suppose we will take noble gases. You know, noble gases, they cannot form molecules. Well, that is exception about xenon and krypton. And mostly noble gases are not forming any chemical compounds. So I am taking the neon. So in between neon and neon means at very low temperature, neon also becomes a liquid and it also becomes solid also at very low temperatures. So in between neon and neon atoms, there exists some interaction. So those interactions are dispersion forces or London forces. So how these forces are happens? Well, not only noble gases, we can take some non-polar molecules also, like hydrocarbons. Very less polarity they are carrying, very less polarity they carries. and in between N2 molecule, in between O2 molecules, this kind of forces we can expect.
So it comes under intermolecular interactions.
These all comes under intermolecular interaction. We have nearly 6 type of intermolecular interactions are there. Okay. Here,
Sir, will you be giving notes regarding these?
no, you can read from study material. It's very easy, but you have to know difference between different kind of forces and where we have to apply this kind of forces. In this chapter, these are not much useful. This chapter, these are not much useful. It is useful in organic chemistry, 12th standard, and in 11th also few. We have 2 organic chemistry chapter. No, there it is useful. Here in examination, maybe rare cases asking what is the dispersion forces. Give one example. Dipole forces and give one example. But application we are seeing in further chapters. Mostly while studying about their physical properties, melting point and boiling point, there these are useful. And in practical life also much useful. These intermolecular interactions. So these interactions are possible when instantaneous dipoles are developed. Suppose I am writing here neon atom, neon nucleus. This is neon atom electron density. So this is another neon. Or you can take any molecule also you can take, N2, O2 also we can take. Non-polar molecules. Suppose at any instant of time, so some distortion maybe happen in this atom. So distortion means electron distortion happens. Somewhere else, electron density is going this side more. So somewhere electron density is going more. This is just exist in fraction of seconds only. Then immediately here, actually the one another atom is very closer to this. So at any instant of time, the electron density is a little bit distorted. Because of this distortion, in this molecule also some distortion happens. So how is that distortion? Here, somewhat going deep. So somewhere else electron density is coming more, like this. So now here instantaneous dipoles are developed. Here little bit electron density is more, no? So here comes negative charge. Here electron density less, no? That's what here comes positive charge. Here again comes a negative charge. So now between this and here, wherever the negative pole is there, this is the instantaneous dipole. Here and here some interactions are exist. That interactions only we are calling dispersion forces or London forces. These are very, very weak forces. It is this force is means not exist even fraction of seconds also at this position. Immediately it will be changes. Here now electron density is the maximum. Suppose here came electron density maximum. So adjacent atom here. In between this atom and this atom, some interactions are exist. So these interactions are frequently changes. Because of these interactions, mostly in hydrocarbons, if you see petrol, diesel, they are getting evaporate very easily. They're having very low boiling point also. Between the molecules of diesel or petrol, these dispersion forces are exist. Even at low temperature, at 55 or 60 degrees centigrade only to get evaporated. Okay, any doubt about this dispersion forces? Ananya.
Sir, can you explain again?
No, sir.
See, these dispersion forces are London forces we are observing in non-polar molecules or atoms. Suppose like noble gases. In between noble gases, there is no bond. But at low temperatures, noble gases also, their atomic substances are comes closer and they form some solid substance, even liquid substance also. This is possible when there exists some interaction between the neon atoms. So this is one neon atom, this is another neon atom. At any instant of time, there is a distortion in the electron density of the one neon atom. It induces a distortion in adjacent atoms. So initially all atoms are supposed spherical shape like this. here somewhere else came distortion. So because of the happening distortion in this molecule, in this atom, adjacent atoms also some distortion happens. That is electron density distortion. So like this. So now here instantaneous dipoles are developed. In this atom, instantaneous dipole, here negative pole, one side positive pole. In this molecule, in this atom also, here positive pole, here negative pole is developed. These are instantaneous dipoles. These are not permanent. This position is not permanent. Immediately it will be changes. This kind of interaction we can say London forces or dispersion forces.
So when it was for such a short time, how was it discovered?
So okay, here that the discussion mean discovery means not practically observed this and all. One theoretical explanation, because why this some compounds having a very low boiling point means because of this kind of interactions. Okay, and these are discovered by the scientist Fitzgerald London. That's what name is given, London forces. Okay, then see the next one, dipole forces. This is very easy. You know already this one. Dipole forces. So this kind of interactions we are observing in polar molecules like HCl. HCl is a polar molecule. Chlorine is high electronegative. It gets partial negative charge. This gets partial positive charge. Another HCl. Now here negative charge is there. Here positive charge is. So in between these some interaction. No, don't is not a hydrogen bond. Some interactions are exist. Even here also. This kind of interaction we can say dipole interaction. These are we are observing in only in polar molecule. HCl is a polar molecule. It have a two poles, positive pole, negative pole. Here also, positive pole, negative pole. So positive pole of a molecule attracted by the negative pole of another molecule. That's called dipole interaction. So dipole interactions are stronger than London forces. Any doubt about this? Dipole forces.
So all hydrogen bonds are dipole.
Yeah, you are correct.
Interactions?
Dipole is hydrogen bond is one kind of dipole interaction.
Okay.
Okay. Next, dipole induced dipole forces. So here, one of the molecule having dipoles means polar molecule. If another molecule is non-polar molecule, we are observing this kind of forces. Dipole induced dipole forces. So one of the molecule is polar. Another one non-polar. Now in between polar molecule and one non-polar molecule, some interactions exist. That's we can say dipole induced dipole forces. This is happens. Suppose we are dissolving O2 in H2O. So here which is polar, which is non-polar? Which is polar, which is non-polar? Very easy. Huh?
Sir, H2O is polar and O2 is non-polar.
Non-polar. Okay. So suppose this is H2O molecule. H2O molecule. This side negative charge, this side positive charge. It is there. Here O2 molecule. This is a O2. So whenever non-polar molecule is going closer to the polar molecule, here negative charge is there. Negative pole is there. In this polar molecule, negative charge. So it have the ability to attract some electron density towards itself. So that's what in this molecule, non-polar molecule, some electron distortion happens. So this is electron density, so it comes like this. So now here also some dipole is induced. Sorry, small change. Here we have to take positive, here negative charge. So one molecule is polar molecule, another molecule is non-polar molecule. When non-polar molecule is going closer to the polar molecule, because of this polarity, it can create some polarity in the non-polar molecule. This kind of interactions we can say dipole, induced dipole interactions. Here we can observe another example is, suppose H2O and noble gases also, helium. H2O is a polar, helium is a non-polar. Next, ion dipole interactions. This is somewhat important. Ion dipole interactions. So here one of the component is ionic substance. And another one is polar molecule. So here ionic substances I am taking as NaCl is the example, polar molecule taking H2O molecule. Now don't give interaction between NaCl and water. Here we are giving interaction between the ion and water molecule. Suppose NaCl is dissolved in water. You know, it undergoes ionization. It gives Na plus ions and Cl minus ions. Now this Na plus ion is surrounded by some water molecules. Not bond, it is not a bond, just interaction. Some water molecules are attached to Na plus
Sir,
ion.
they are in under dipole interaction here.
No, it's not dipole. You have to see here ion. Ion is there here, not dipole.
Sir,
Completely
with
one
Na
ion.
and okay.
Okay, only Na. Here separate. Cl is separate. It's better to write for Cl minus is separate. Even Cl minus ion also surrounded by some water molecules. So this is only during this process, when some water molecule surrounds the particular ion, during this process, some amount of energy is released out. That's only we are calling hydration energy or hydration enthalpy.
Sir, I
Ah.
have a doubt from the previous chapter.
Hmm.
What are formal charges?
The charge which is carried by an atom within the molecule is called formula charge. I gave formula also how to calculate
Not
formula charge.
formula.
Hmm?
Formal charge.
That is only formal charge.
Okay.
Okay. So in aqueous solutions, the ion is surrounded by some water molecules. During this process, some amount of heat energy is released out. That's called hydration energy or hydration enthalpy. This hydration energy or hydration enthalpy is mainly depending upon size of the ionic species and charge of ionic species. If higher the charge an ionic species, higher the hydration enthalpy. And if smaller the size of species, then also higher the hydration enthalpy. Okay. So here you can see interaction between ion and one dipole molecule. H2O is a dipolar molecule. Yeah.
Can you explain what hydration enthalpy is?
Okay. So first you have to understand what is ion dipole interactions. The interaction between the ionic species and dipolar molecules. Na plus is ionic species. It is surrounded by some water molecule, nothing but those are dipolar molecules. This interaction we are calling ion dipole interaction. During this process, whenever water molecules are surround this Na plus ion or even Cl minus ion, amount of energy is released out. Some energy is released out. That energy only we are calling hydration enthalpy. Okay, this hydration enthalpy is also responsible to soluble some particular substances in water or any solvent.
Sir, why does energy get released?
Why does actually suppose dissolution of NaCl in water is exothermic or endothermic?
Sir,
Just practically think, if you dissolve some salt in water, is that solution become cool or hot?
sir, it become hot.
No, it become cool. Yeah, that is actually endothermic process. Dissolution of sugar in water or even salt in water is endothermic. It will become cool. Actually, during this process, that energy is not sufficient to soluble NaCl or sugar in water. Some energy is released here, hydration enthalpy, that is actually not sufficient to soluble. That's what it is absorbing from the surrounding. Some heat is absorbed by the surrounding, then only it will become soluble. Okay, suppose solubility of NaOH or H2SO4 mixing with water, that is exothermic process. So there also what happens, some sulfate ions are surrounded by water, even NaOH is there. Na plus ions and OH minus ions are surrounded by water molecules here also. During that process, energy is releases out. That's what energy released out, that is not absorbed by the system. System only releasing energy. So that's what we are feeling, it is a exothermic and energy is coming out.
So, you said that dissolving of sugar or salt in water is an endothermic reaction.
It is endothermic
So,
process.
endothermic means heat is needed
Absorbed.
for the heat is
Absorbs.
absorbed.
Yeah.
So, how is heat absorbed over there?
So
Then you said
surrounding is there
it's
now.
cool.
Where it is
Then
cool?
the solution is cold. You said that, right?
Yeah, okay. You are telling heat absorbed means solution should become hot, right?
It should be, right?
Yeah. So, but okay, your practical view is okay, I'm accepting. But to soluble, that amount of energy it is absorbing, no, that is only sufficient to soluble salt in water only. So that heat is not using to raise up its temperature. That is only useful to soluble.
formation.
Yes, for purpose of only soluble purpose. That is that's water is absorbing some heat from the surrounding. It won't use to raise the temperature of solution.
So it's just used for the formation, right? Formation of the solution.
Yeah, we can call enthalpy of formation of solution. Correct. Okay, that and all we'll discuss in thermodynamics. So ion dipole interaction is interaction between the ionic species and dipolar molecules. Next one, ion induced dipole interactions. Already this is dipole induced dipoles. This is also same kind. So here we are taking ionic substance. So that is the interaction between ionic substance and non-polar molecule. So here, whenever non-polar molecule is going closer to the ionic species, or even ion is going closer to the non-polar molecule, some distortion happens, electron density distortion happens in non-polar molecule. So it results two dipoles are developed. Suppose iodine molecule I am taking here, I2. Iodine. So here nitrate ion. Here dipole is there, negatively charged. I2, when it is individual, means NO2 3 minus is not closer to this. Here there is no dipole. When NO3 minus is going closer to this iodine molecule, here two dipoles are developed. Now the interaction between this ionic species and non-polar molecule is calling ion induced dipole interactions.
So can you explain again?
So the interaction between the ionic substance and non-polar molecule we are calling ion induced dipole interactions. Here, whenever ionic species or non-polar molecule coming closer, some two poles are developed. Positive pole and negative pole is developed. This happens because the electron density in the molecule is distorted when NO3 or negatively charged species or any ion is going closer to the non-polar molecule. So here there is no polar, no dipoles beginning. There is no NO3 minus also. So now here NO3 minus is going closer to this molecule. So here two dipoles are developed because of NO3 minus.
Okay, sir. got it.
So that's called induced dipole. So previous
Excuse me, sir.
one,
Sir, can you explain once more how the non-polar molecule exists over there? The
Only non-polar
distortion you were
molecule?
talking about.
Only
Yeah,
non-polar
yes, sir.
molecule. So only non-polar molecule like O2.
No, sir. In this condition, in ion-induced dipole.
Ion-induced dipole, just it is a without ion is going closer to this. This is simple non-polar molecule only. This is just
So
non-polar.
what is the distortion cause?
Electron density is, it is becomes unsymmetrical. Electron density becomes unsymmetrical. Suppose when iodine atom combines, it forms no molecular orbital. So that molecular orbital carries some electron density. It maintains particular shape, having some symmetry. So whenever negatively charged species, or even we can take positively charged species also, when going closer to this, here electron density is negative pole, you know, in north and south, and here north south. Is it attracts or repulsion between south and north? Magnet.
It attracts. Right?
Attracts, no? If I keep
Yes,
here
sir.
south pole, this side north pole, what happens now?
Repel.
Repulsion happens. Same you have to see in this molecule also. So here there is no dipoles. Initially beginning there is no dipoles. Whenever NO3 minus going closer to this, here negative pole is there. In this I2 molecule, more electron density is moving this side. Very less electron density is this side. So because of this, here comes positive charge, here comes negative charge. Whenever this NO3 minus is going closer to this. So here positive pole, here negative pole. Some interactions are exist between these two poles. That's only we are saying ion induced dipole interactions.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay, then last one, hydrogen bond. I think we already discussed about hydrogen bond in previous chapter. Fifth one. What is hydrogen bond? Nagabhushanam?
Sir, electrostatic forces between two molecules where between hydrogen and another highly electronegative molecule where hydrogen atom is bonded with a highly negative electronegative atom.
So this hydrogen bond we are observing in a molecule which having high electronegative element that must be attached to hydrogen atom. So only one example I will explain. Suppose water molecules. So oxygen is attached to two hydrogens here, even one also sufficient. Oxygen is high electronegative, because of this it gets partial negative charge, it gets partial positive charge. So here you take another water molecule. Here also hydrogen having partial positive charge, oxygen having partial negative charge. Now hydrogen bond statement is electrostatic force of attraction between the hydrogen atom and high electronegative element and hydrogen atom that must be attached to another high electronegative element. Now interaction between oxygen and hydrogen atom. So this is not a chemical bond, this is just a physical interaction. So however discussed previous interaction, this is also same. It's not a chemical bond. So these are again two types interactions are there: intermolecular hydrogen bonding and the intramolecular hydrogen bonding. That one you can read in chemical bonding chapter. Okay. Now see intermolecular forces versus thermal interactions. So thermal energy, that is. Intermolecular interactions versus thermal energy. So this thermal energy of a substance mainly because of motion of particles. If particles are in more high motion, I mean movement, they're having high moment, they obviously they have high thermal energy. This thermal energy of a substance is directly proportional to average kinetic energy of a molecule also. So later topics it will come. So what is the average kinetic energy and how to calculate this? So suppose thermal energy of a substance increases, the interactions between the particles of a substance decreases. Suppose solids, it will become liquids, and further it will become gases. So if thermal energy is increased here, thermal energy increasing order in this direction. Something, but it is directly proportional to temperature. A solid substance, if we increase the temperature, no doubt solid become liquid. So further increase of temperature, liquids becomes gases. So here temperature is directly proportional to thermal energy. If we increase the temperature, thermal energy of a substance increases. That's what solid become to liquid, and then further liquid becomes gases. And in the opposite direction, we can write intermolecular interactions. So if we decrease the temperature, thermal energy of a substance decreases. So that's what gases becomes liquid, further liquid becomes to solid. So what is the process conversion from solid to liquid? Name of the process, conversion of solid to liquid.
So fusion.
Boiling.
Melting.
Melting?
Sir, melting.
Melting.
Okay. Conversion from liquid to gas?
Boiling.
Evaporation.
Boiling.
Okay, correct. Evaporation. But evaporation, boiling, both are different terms.
The
Yes,
vaporization.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, vaporization.
Yeah, vaporization.
Next, conversion from gases to liquid.
Condensation.
Condensation.
Liquid to solid.
Freezing.
Solidification.
Solidification, right? Okay, freezing or solidification, correct. So thermal energy conversion from solid to liquid or liquid to gases, thermal energy increases and intermolecular interactions decreases in this direction. Intermolecular interaction decreases, thermal energy increases. To become gases to liquid and liquid to solid, intermolecular interactions increases and thermal energy is decreases. Okay, now we are going into gas laws.
So is this chapter a smaller one compared to others?
Medium, not too big, medium chapter. We can complete it in 5 classes. Okay, so gas laws, we have Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law, and Gilsok law. Further, ideal gas equation, kinetic theory of gases. So we have many laws are there here onwards. This is a very important concept from here onwards. Before that is just a basic ma. Very rare cases asking questions related to intermolecular interaction, but that having much applications in further chapters. So here onwards, there is a more chance to ask questions in JEE and any competitive and board level also.
So, does this chapter have numerical?
So see the first one, Boyle's law. So so to explain the behavior of gases, they are given some gas laws. The first one is Boyle's law. So at constant temperature, given mass of a gas, sorry, the volume of given mass of a gas, inversely proportional to pressure. So at constant temperature, the volume of given mass of a gas inversely proportional to its pressure. So that is P is inversely proportional to 1 by, or even you can take V is inversely proportional to 1
Sir,
by
should
P.
we write this?
Yeah,
from
you
here?
have to write at constant temperature. So now we may write P is equal to K by V, or PV is equal to K. The K means constant here. You can keep C also. Write this one.
Sir, you have told that
Hmm.
JEE test will be on Friday.
Friday,
Sir,
right?
can you keep it on Saturday? Because yes, sir. Can we have it on Saturday?
Just a minute, I will check when I give date.
It will be better.
9th, no?
Friday means it's a little hurry. Like yes, sir. It's like it's like somewhat.
Chemical bonding. What's the problem? You
Yes, sir.
already wrote no.
Saturday we can have it now, sir. 10th.
Just a minute. I think you
Sir,
didn't write no CET.
Saturday
paper.
means
Just a
like
minute. Wait. You didn't write no CET?
No,
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 sir. We
sir.
only wrote subjective.
Okay. I will modify this. I will give CET paper.
Okay, sir.
I will modify this one.
Because Saturday we don't have school, I think so, sir. That's why I told.
So CET, see, can you write now on Friday?
What will be
Yes,
the
sir.
timings, sir?
Yes, sir, we can write on Friday.
Timing 4 to 5.
4 to 5. Yes, sir. It's possible.
So I have
I
a class from school at 4 to 5.
2 to 3.
Sir,
Okay.
this might sound weird, but I have a class at 2 to 3 too.
Then
Sir,
what
we
time?
have school till 1 o'clock, sir, that day.
When? Friday?
that's why I told Saturday,
Yes,
sir.
yes, sir.
This is second Saturday for us. For us and all, we don't have any classes, I think.
Okay.
So,
Later I will change.
second Saturday.
Okay. Completed this one.
Yes, sir.
So, or even you can write this one. Or P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. This is also Boyle's law formula.
So you haven't explained this law yet, right?
Which one? Hello?
Boyle's law.
No. I didn't. Just I wrote definition. Note down. I will explain now.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. See now. Suppose I have volume of gas is. Don't write my here onward. Just listen. 1000 ml. 1000 ml gas, and its maintaining pressure is 1 atmosphere pressure. Then what is PV? PV value 1000 into 1, 1000 ml it is. PV is 1000 ml. Okay. Now I increase the pressure to atmosphere. So if you apply the pressure, volume of gas decreases now. By applying pressure, volume of gas decreases. So if it is double, this will become half. Now multiply PV value 500 into 2, still 1000 ml only it is. Now further it double the pressure. Then how much it will becomes? 250, right?
Yes, sir, 250.
250. Multiply 250 into 4, still it is a 1000 ml only. That is, so always P into V, and means PV is equal to constant value only it gives. That is about Boyle's law. So at constant temperature, not if temperature varies, that we won't get a constant value of PV. At constant temperature, with increase of pressure, volume of a gas is decreases. Is a generally everyone know that if you increase the pressure, volume must be decreases. So here graphs are very, very important in states of matter, and in 12th standard also we have one chapter, chemical kinetics. Graphs very, very important. First one is PV graph I am giving. P here V. Suppose pressure is high, volume becomes low, no? Pressure decreases, volume of a gas is increases. So you can take this kind of graph. PV graph. Next graph is P and 1 by V. So even you can write 1 by V on y-axis, P in this on x-axis. Also it gives straight line passing through origin.
So what does 1 by V represent?
Inverse of volume. Here we derive a formula. P is equal to K by V.
Oh, yeah.
That graph.
Sir,
So
can
I
you
think you know
explain
that is
the
PV is equal to gives K. It is like Y is equal to mx, like passing through origin.
Sir, can you explain the first graph once more? The second one I understood.
So with the increase of pressure, volume of a gas decreases, no? By applying pressure, volume of a gas or volume of any substance is also decreases. Suppose you take sponge, but in this case we don't apply sponge. If you apply some pressure, sponge, its volume decreases. Same gas also, by applying pressure, its volume decreases. So that is the relation. Here you can study in this direction or even in this direction. Suppose this direction. Pressure of a gas is decreasing, then volume of a gas increases. Or study in reverse manner. Pressure is increasing, so volume of a gas is decreasing. See here points. Pressure increases, volume of a gas is decreases. Or pressure decreases, volume of a gas increases. Don't draw these dots.
Sir?
Tell me.
Sir, if pressure increases, even heat increases. But I think so that's what happens in condensation.
What? Pressure increases?
Heat also increases.
That's what I'm telling you. Temperature is constant. System temperature we are keeping constant.
Okay, sir.
Actually, you said no, that point we are considering in deviations. It will come in the end of the chapter. This is applying for only ideal solution. If the gas is ideal, this is applicable. Generally,
Okay,
the
sir.
gases are all are real gases. They are not ideal gases. Okay, next graph is P versus PV. It gives a straight lines. Parallel to x-axis. So already we proven that PV is always constant. So it's just wait. Take only one line to avoid confusion.
Sir, P is product of pressure and volume.
Yeah, product of pressure and volume. You can see there always PV we got 1000 only. Okay, so in examination they are giving graphs like this. P, here V, here are the lines, curves only. So this is a T1, T2. So okay, I'll give from downside. T1, T2, T3. How is the relation between these lines? Which is the correct order of temperature? T2 greater than, so here T2 greater than T3. This is T2. T3 greater than T2 greater than T1. This is the relation. T1, T2, T3, T4. Now also, which is bigger higher temperature? T4 is higher. T4 greater than, T3 greater than, T2 greater than T1. Then last graph. P versus PV graph. Suppose we have 3 lines. T1, T2, T3. Now also T3 is higher than T2 than T1.
No. So in the last graph, can we interchange the place of P and PV? Then it would be vertical, right?
Oh yeah, it will comes like vertical if we change.
Okay.
Okay. So right, PV curves at constant temperature is called isotherms. So these all are calling isotherms. PV curves at constant temperature are called isotherms.
So what are isotherms?
PV graphs at constant temperature are called isotherms. So these all are comes under isotherms because we are maintaining constant temperature now while taking the graph. In all the cases, we are maintaining temperature constant. So these are called isotherms.
So even the examples that you've given, T3 greater than T2
Yeah,
greater
these
than
also.
T1.
So yeah, to get this line means here many points are there. We are maintaining particular temperature T1, that is maybe 200 to get this line. maintaining 300. This is 400, but maintaining only one temperature only. To get one line, we are maintaining only
Okay,
one
for each curve you mean?
each curve. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now see its significance of Boyle's law. So now we know with the increase of pressure, volume of a gas decreases, and then density of a gas must be increases, right? With increase of pressure, volume of a gas decreases, and density of gas increases. So here Boyle's law tells the compressible nature of a gases. Gases are compressible. See, we will prove that pressure and density are directly proportional. You know, P is inversely proportional to 1 by V. So P is inversely proportional to, instead of V, we know D is equal to M by V. Only V is equal to M by D. So P is directly proportional to D by M. That is, P is directly proportional to D.
So that's density, right?
Yeah, D is density. Okay. So now this will give you clarity. The people who are living in hill areas, they are using pressure cookers, right? To cook food. Why they are using pressure cookers?
Because it reduces the boiling point, so it becomes easier and faster to cook.
Because of using cooker, right?
And yeah, because the temperature is higher over there, so we'll take more time to cook if we don't use pressure cooker and all that.
No. So pressure cooker
Sir,
name
sir,
itself here.
sir.
Factor is pressure. Yeah, tell me.
The pressure decreases the volume, so
Okay.
throughout the bulk, heat is supplied.
Okay. Even let be about that. Suppose people who are going hills, they are going with oxygen cylinder, right? Climbers, mountain climbers,
Yes, sir.
going with a cylinder, oxygen cylinders. So why they are going with oxygen cylinders?
Sir, pressure decreases.
When we go high altitudes, the pressure of a gas is decreases. Yes, pressure of gas decreases. There, pressure of gas low, so our nothing but density of a gas also low there. Availability of oxygen or oxygen density is low. That's what it causes some illness. That's we are calling anoxia. Because of that, they are unable to think properly. Okay, in higher altitude, density of a gas is low because of low pressure. Suppose when we go deep inside the earth or even in the ocean seas, if we go deep, pressure increases there. Because there is two factors now. When we go deep, it is a pressure increases, and also because of water in seas, that water also causes much pressure. If pressure increases more, the solubility of gas, nothing but nitrogen gas solubility increases in our blood. That also causes some illness. That is we are calling bends. It causes some pains in body. That's sometimes it causes death also.
So it can
That's what.
burst the body.
Yeah, if you go too deep, because of high pressure, that blood vessels will become break. I mean, blast. That means cracks will comes. No doubt, it causes death. That's what they are giving. Some limited depth only need to go, not too much depth. If you go too much depth, pressure increases, it causes death. That is because of density. Pressure is directly proportional to density of a gas. Okay, this is only the application of Boyle's law. Now solve few problems.
Even in space, right? Like there's
Even
no.
space also. Yeah, in space there is availability of gas is very, very low. I think it's negligible. Okay.
So that's why when you come down from a hill, you'll feel like air is resisting you backwards. That
When
pressure is applying on your head. You'll feel like somewhat
feeling
dizzy.
heavy.
Like yes, sir. Even while going up, also somewhat similar thing we'll observe. It has happened many times that you sometimes stomach upset also happens due to that.
Why?
Sir, some people it happens. Sir,
Happens,
like their
correct.
head
You are right.
starts.
Even because of temperature changes also happens.
Yes,
Pressure
sir.
changes also it happens. Sometimes it causes a vomiting sensation also. Okay, right problem. A balloon is filled with hydrogen at room temperature. Hydrogen at room temperature. It will burst. If pressure exceeds if pressure exceeds 0.2 bar. If pressure exceeds 0.2 bar. If at 1 bar pressure the gas occupies 2.27 liter volume. Up to what volume? Can the balloon?
So SI unit of pressure is Pascal, right?
Yeah.
Then what is bar?
Here bar is also using as a SI unit only. No, it's not SI unit. 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton meter square, right?
Yes, sir.
So here 1.01325 into 10 power 5 pascals we are considered as a 1 atmosphere. For our convenience calculation purpose, we are using atmospheres and bars.
Okay.
Can you calculate how much extent the balloon can expand? Second question is, if balloon is filled with hydrogen at room temperature, it will burst if pressure exceeds 0.2 bar. If inside the balloon pressure is 0.2 bar, then it will become burst. If at 1 bar pressure, the gas occupies 2.27 liter. 2.27 liter is occupied at 1 bar pressure. So at 0.2 bar pressure, how much its volume? So apply the formula P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. Initial volume of gas is equal to 2.27 liter. Initial pressure of gas is equal to 1 bar. So if pressure, this is take as a V1, this is take as P1. If pressure P2 is equal to 0.2 bar, then volume of a gas V2 is equal to. So I gave you this formula P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Calculate from here V2. P1 V1
11.35 liters.
Okay. Substitute and final answer 11.35.
35.
Okay. If it balloon reaches that pressure, then it will become burst. $11.35, yes. Answer you have to get V2 is equal to 11.35 liter. Yeah. If volume of balloon becomes 11.35 liters, it will become rust.
Sir, the board is very blurry.
Yeah, all of you have the same problem?
No, sir, we don't.
No, sir.
I think you may have some network problem. Check. Then try this problem. A vessel of 120 ml capacity a vessel of 120 ml capacity contains a certain mass of a gas.
Sir, could you let Ananya in the meeting?
Contain a certain mass of a gas. At 20 degrees centigrade and 750 mm pressure. The gas was transferred to a vessel whose volume is 180 ml. Calculate the pressure of the gas.
Sir, is it an NCRT question?
No,
Exercise
no.
1.
This is NCRT. No, it's not NCRT.
Okay.
Okay, here. This vessel capacity is 120 ml and maintaining pressure gas is 750 mm of Hg. When this gas is transferred to now vessel volume is bigger, it is 180 ml capacity, and how much its pressure. So we transfer this gas, we transfer into this container, this vessel. So what is the pressure here? Same formula apply, P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. P1 is equal to 750 mm. V1 is equal to 120 ml. So this gas transferred to this vessel. Here P2 we have to calculate, and volume of a vessel is 180 ml. P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. P2 is equal to P1 V1 by V2. (750 into 120 divided by 180). 2 by 3. I think 500. Yeah, 500.
Sir, can you
Yes.
do one thing from this class?
Hmm?
Sir, after we finish a concept, can you tell us the NCERT questions which we can solve so that we can finish the NCERT exercise before, like when the chapter finishes?
Okay, that okay.
It will be
But here
better, no, sir?
less questions are there related to Boyle's law.
Yes, sir. Like 1 or 2 minutes also, if we solve, we will like finish the exercise. That's why
Yeah, I will
they
tell
are
you.
using this approach in school, sir. That's why I told.
But in school also going on this chapter.
Not this, sir. They're going in atomic structure. They're going to finish like so many questions were there. They started telling question numbers which you can do. That's why I told this idea, sir.
Okay, you can solve 5.1 and 2 questions. Exercise 1 and 2.
Yes, sir.
So do this one in classwork now itself. A gas occupies of 2.5 liter at 9 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. Calculate the additional pressure required to decrease the volume of the gas
So in the previous question, there was no role of the temperature, right?
no role, just there's a constant temperature to decrease volume of the gas to 1.5 liter to 1.5 liter, keeping the temperature constant. Keeping the temperature constant. So now pressure is given in Newton meter square. So you can convert that into pascals. Otherwise, directly also you can apply.
So we need to divide it by 10 to the power of 6, right? 9 into 10 to the power of 5 by 10 to the power of 6.
Why? To convert
Yeah.
into any other units?
Yes, sir.
No, just simple. 1 Newton meter per minus 2 means 1 liter per meter is equal to 1 Pascal. So 10 power 5 pascals is equal to PA only, no, not PS, is equal to 1 bar. So now how many bars of pressure? 9 bars of pressure. volume V1 is equal to 2.5 liters. Pressure P1 is equal to 9 into 10 power 5 Newton meter per minus 2, that is equal to 9 bar. Additional pressure required to decrease volume of the gas to 1.5 liters. So final volume V2 is equal to 1.5 liter. So what is the final pressure? P2 is equal to how much? P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. P2 is equal to P1 V1 by V2. P1 is 9 bar, V1 is 2.5 and V2 1.5. P2 is equal to so here P2 is 15 atmosphere. But additionally, how much required? Already we have 9 bar pressure, right? Initially we have 9 bar pressure. So
Excuse me,
additionally
sir.
require only 6 bar pressure, no?
Excuse
I
me,
need
sir.
to let someone
Yes.
in.
Yes, sir, you need to let someone in.
So they're asking in the group to let you in.
Okay. So here given initial volume of gas 2.5 liter and its pressure is given 9 bar pressure. And final volume is, we have to decrease that, we have to decrease its volume to 1.5 liter. We have 2.5, we have to decrease to 1.5. So no doubt we have to increase the pressure. So how much we have to increase? How much extra? Already we have 9 bar pressure. Here we got P2 15 atmosphere. So extra is only 6 bar pressure. So additional pressure required is 6 bar. Okay, thank you. Tomorrow we will see about Charles law.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.